The Lesser Key of Solomon, following the Clavicula Salomonis, is one of the most popular grimoires or books of magic. It is known by several names, including Lemegeton, and is also recognized as the Goetia. The term Goetia comes from the Greek word goeteia and generally denotes a particularly condemned type of magic, primarily involving necromancy or the summoning of the dead. However, in a broader sense, it refers to the invocation of demonic entities through blasphemous rituals. In more recent times, Goetia is contrasted with Thergi, as the former deals with malevolent spirits, while the latter deals with benevolent ones, seeking their assistance for the attainment of a goal. Goetia is often placed in the realm of magia innaturalis prohibita, which simply means forbidden and unnatural magic. The exact date of the creation of the Lesser Key of Solomon is unknown. The oldest surviving copy dates back to the 17th century. According to the legendary tale, King Solomon provided guidance for summoning demons, listing the 72 demons, their magical seals, and even the appearance of the demons itself. When King Solomon grew old, he locked the demons in a brass vessel, which he then sank to the bottom of a lake. This vessel was discovered by the Babylonians, who, upon opening it, released the demons, dispersing them across the world. Since then, they can be called forth using the magical rituals and evocations described in the book. The Lemegeton Grimoire lists the names and abilities of 72 demons and analyzes their functions. Most of these demons possess various arts, giving us an intriguing glimpse into the application of magical powers. The primary focus of the Lemegeton is to acquire knowledge. The demons hold dominion over the occult powers of magical sciences, arts, philosophy, mathematics, logic, languages, astronomy, astrology, as well as the occult properties of gemstones and plants. Many demons reveal closely guarded secrets to those who summon them, offering insight into the mysteries of the past, present, and future. The emphasis on uncovering secret connections can be explained by the tradition that the fallen angels, desiring human women, taught them various arts and crafts. Furthermore, this alludes to the fact that in occultism, knowledge supports spiritual advancement more than virtue, and that all-encompassing knowledge signifies dominion over the universe. Keep in mind that Goetic magic, or the magic of Solomon, is a highly advanced form of magic. King Solomon, renowned as the wisest man in history, was not only wise but also considered the greatest magician. According to lore, he compelled 72 demons or jinn to construct the Temple of God in Jerusalem. These entities trace back to ancient Sumerian roots, which later religions like Christianity, Judaism, and Islam divided into angels and demons, though initially no such distinction existed. Occult teachers often caution their students against delving into Goetic magic due to its perceived dangers, a sentiment echoed since ancient times. Those who experience fear and hesitation are advised to refrain, as they may lack the necessary lessons and understanding. In the story of King Solomon, he binds these entities into a brass vessel, symbolizing us. In ancient times, when this system originated, concepts such as psychology and people like Freud, Jung, or Adler did not exist. The ancients expressed procedures, concepts, and experiences in terms comprehensible to them. Angels and demons represent different aspects of our mind and consciousness. Angels embody a consciousness level higher than our ordinary mundane life, while demons represent a consciousness level below our norm. These entities reside in our subconscious or unconscious mind, the deepest parts of our psyche, making them potentially dangerous if one is not adequately prepared to work with them. Mastery of the angelic system is a prerequisite, understanding that angels are integral to one's psyche and consciousness. Working with angels involves drawing energy from a higher consciousness into our own, while working with demons involves drawing energy from the depths of our psyche into our normal consciousness. This process integrates both upper and lower portions of our psyche with everyday life, fostering the development of a complete and integrated person. Renowned magicians and occultists throughout history, such as Heinrich Cornelius Agrippa, asserted that these beings or entities essentially represent aspects of ourselves. Aleister Crowley, a famous occultist, likened these entities to portions of our psyche. Visualize it as a tree, where angels represent the branches and leaves, demons are the roots, and we are the trunk connecting these two parts. The idea that demons are portions of the mind is deeply rooted in psychological and symbolic interpretations of magical practices. One influential figure in this realm of thought is the Swiss psychiatrist Carl Jung. Jung introduced the concept of the collective unconscious, which posits that there are universal symbols and archetypes shared by all humans, transcending cultural and individual differences. In the context of magical traditions, the demons are viewed as symbolic representations of various aspects of the human psyche. These demons may embody repressed emotions, desires, fears, or other elements of the unconscious mind. The magical rituals associated with invoking or evoking these demons are then seen as a means to explore and integrate these hidden aspects of the self. Rather than interpreting these rituals as literal summoning of external entities, adherents of this psychological perspective see them as symbolic and psychological journeys. The demons become symbols or metaphors for different facets of the individual's psyche. Engaging in these rituals is considered a method for the practitioner to confront and better understand their own inner workings. The process can be likened to a form of self-exploration and personal development. By confronting and integrating these symbolic representations of the unconscious, individuals may gain insights into their own motivations, fears, and desires. This perspective doesn't deny the subjective and transformative experiences that practitioners may undergo during these rituals, but places emphasis on the internal, psychological dimensions rather than the external, supernatural ones. The first principal spirit is a king ruling in the east called Baal. This is his character, which is used to be worn as a laman before him, who calleth him forth, or else he will not do thee homage. He maketh thee to go invisible. He ruleth over 66 legions of infernal spirits. He appeareth in divers shapes, sometimes like a cat, sometimes like a toad, and sometimes like a man, and sometimes all these forms at once. He speaketh hoarsely. The second spirit is a duke called Agreus, or Agares, and this is his seal or character, which thou shalt wear as a lamen before thee. He is under the power of the east, and cometh up in the form of an old fair man, riding upon a crocodile, carrying a goshawk upon his fist, and yet mild in appearance. He maketh them to run that stand still, and bringeth back runaways. He teaches all languages or tongues presently. He hath power also to destroy dignities, both spiritual and temporal, and causeth earthquakes. He was of the order of virtues. He hath under his government 31 legions of spirits. The third spirit is a mighty prince, being of the same nature as Agares. He is called Vasago, and this is his seal. This spirit is of a good nature, and his office is to declare things past and to come, and to discover all things hid or lost, and he governeth 26 legions of spirits. The fourth spirit is Samagina, a great marquis, and his seal is this, which is to be worn before the magician when he is invocator. He appeareth in the form of a little horse or ass, and then into human shape doth he change himself at the request of the master. He speaketh with a hoarse voice. He ruleth over 30 legions of inferiors. He teaches all liberal sciences, and giveth account of dead souls that died in sin. The fifth spirit is Marbus, and his seal is this, which is to be worn as aforesaid. He is a great president, and appeareth at first in the form of a great lion, but afterwards, at the request of the master, he putteth on human shape. He answereth truly of things hidden or secret. He causeth diseases, and cureth them. Again, he giveth great wisdom and knowledge in mechanical arts, and can change men into other shapes. He governeth 36 legions of spirits. The sixth spirit is Valefor. His seal is this, which is to be worn, whether thou wilt have him for a familiar or not. He is a mighty duke, and appeareth in the shape of a lion with an ass's head. He is a good familiar, but tempteth them he is a familiar of to steal. He governeth 10 legions of spirits. The seventh spirit is Amun. His seal is this, which is to be worn as aforesaid. He is a marquis, great in power, and most stern. He appeareth like a wolf with a serpent's tail, vomiting out of his mouth flames of fire. But at the command of the magician he putteth on the shape of a man with dog's teeth beset in a head like a raven, or else like a man with a raven's head. He telleth all things past and to come. He procureth feuds and reconcileth controversies between friends. He governeth 40 legions of spirits. The eighth spirit is Barbatos. His seal of obedience is this, the which were before thee, as aforesaid. He is a great duke, and appeareth when the sun is in Sagittary, with 4 noble kings and their companies of great troops. He giveth understanding of the singing of birds, and of the voices of other creatures, such as the barking of dogs. He breaketh the hidden treasures open that have been laid by the enchantments of magicians. He is of the order of virtues, of which some part he retaineth still, and he knoweth all things past and to come, and conciliateth friends and those that be in power. He ruleth over 30 legions of spirits. The ninth spirit in this order is Paimon, a great king, and very obedient unto Lucifer. His character is this, which must be worn as a layman before thee. He appeareth in the form of a man sitting upon a dromedary with a crown most glorious upon his head. There goeth before him also an host of spirits, like men with trumpets and well-sounding cymbals, and all other sorts of musical instruments. He hath a great voice, and roareth at his first coming, and his speech is such that the magician cannot well understand, unless he can compel him. This spirit can teach all arts and sciences, and other secret things. He can discover unto thee what the earth is, and what holdeth it up in the waters, and what mind is, and where it is, or any other thing thou mayest desire to know. He giveth dignity, and confirmeth the same. He bindeth or maketh any man subject unto the magician if he so desire it. He giveth good familiars, and such as can teach all arts. He is to be observed towards the west. He is of the order of dominations. He hath under him 200 legions of spirits, and part of them are of the order of angels, and the other part of potentates. Now if thou callest this spirit Paimon alone, thou must make him some offering, and there will attend him 2 kings called Laibal and Abali, and also other spirits who be of the order of potentates in his host, and 25 legions. And those spirits which be subject unto them are not always with them, unless the magician do compel them. The 10th spirit is Bua, a great president, and his character of obedience is this, which thou must wear when thou callest him forth unto appearance. He appeareth in Sagittary, and that is his shape when the sun is there. He teaches philosophy, both moral and natural, and the logic art, and also the virtues of all herbs and plants. He healeth all distempers in man, and giveth good familiars. He governeth 50 legions of spirits. The 11th spirit in order is a great and strong duke called Gusion. His seal is this, the which wear thou as aforesaid. He appeareth like a Xenopilus. He telleth all things, past, present, and to come, and showeth the meaning and resolution of all questions thou mayest ask. He conciliateth and reconcileth friendships, and giveth honor and dignity unto any. He ruleth over 40 legions of spirits. The 12th spirit is Sitri. His seal is this, to be worn as a laman before thee. He is a great prince, and appeareth at first with a leopard's head and the wings of a griffon, but after the command of the master of the exorcism he putteth on human shape, and that very beautiful. He inflameth men with women's love, and women with men's love, and causeth them also to show themselves naked, if it be desired. He governeth 60 legions of spirits. The 13th spirit is called Beleth, or Byleth, or Bylet. His noble seal is this, which is to be worn before thee at working. He is a mighty king and terrible. He rideth on a pale horse with trumpets and other kinds of musical instruments playing before him. He is very furious at his first appearance, that is, while the exorcist layeth his courage. For to do this he must hold a hazel wand in his hand, striking it out towards the south and east quarters, make a triangle without the circle, and then command him into it by the bonds and charges of spirits, as hereafter followeth. And if he doth not enter into the triangle, at your threats rehearse the bonds and charms before him, and then he will yield obedience and come into it and do what he is commanded by the exorcist. Yet he must receive him courteously, because he is a great king, and do homage unto him, as the kings and princes do that attend upon him. And thou must have always a silver ring on the middle finger of the left hand held against thy face, as they do yet before Amaimon. This great King Beleth causeth all the love that may be, both of men and of women, until the master exorcist hath had his desire fulfilled. He is of the order of powers, and he governeth 85 legions of spirits. The 14th spirit is called Leraj, or Lerai, and this is his seal. He is a marquis great in power, showing himself in the likeness of an archer clad in green, and carrying a bow and quiver. He causeth all great battles and contests, and maketh wounds to putrefy that are made with arrows by archers. This belongeth unto Sagittary. He governeth 30 legions of spirits. The 15th spirit in order is Elegos, a great duke. His seal is this: he appeareth in the form of a goodly knight, carrying a lance, an ensign, and a serpent. He discovereth hidden things, and knoweth things to come, and of wars, and how the soldiers will or shall meet. He causeth the love of lords and great persons. He governeth 60 legions of spirits. The 16th spirit is Zepar, and his seal is this, which he obeyeth when he seeth it. He is a great duke, and appeareth in red apparel and armor like a soldier. His office is to cause women to love men, and to bring them together in love. He also maketh them barren. He governeth 26 legions of inferior spirits. The 17th spirit is Botis, a great president and an earl, and this is his seal. He appeareth at the first show in the form of an ugly viper. Then at the command of the magician he putteth on a human shape with great teeth, and 2 horns, carrying a bright and sharp sword in his hand. He telleth all things past and to come, and reconcileth friends and foes. He ruleth over 60 legions of spirits. The 18th spirit is Bathin. His seal is this which is to be worn as aforesaid. He is a mighty and strong duke, and appeareth like a strong man with the tail of a serpent, sitting upon a pale-coloured horse. He knoweth the virtues of herbs and precious stones, and can transport men suddenly from one country to another. He ruleth over 30 legions of spirits. The 19th spirit is Salos, or Salios. His seal is this: he is a great and mighty duke, and appeareth in the form of a gallant soldier riding on a crocodile with a ducal crown on his head, but peaceably. He causeth the love of women to men, and of men to women, and governeth 30 legions of spirits. The 20th spirit is Person, a great king. His mark, seal, or character is this, unto the which he oweth obedience, and which thou shalt wear in time of action. His appearance is comely, like a man with a lion's face, carrying a cruel viper in his hand, and riding upon a bear. Going before him are many trumpets sounding. He knoweth all things hidden, and can discover treasure, and tell all things past, present, and to come. He can take a body, either human or aerial, and answereth truly of all earthly things, both secret and divine, and of the creation of the world. He bringeth forth good familiars, and under his government there be 22 legions of spirits, partly of the order of virtues, and partly of the order of thrones. The 21st spirit is Marax, and his seal is this, which must be made and worn as aforesaid. He is a great earl and president. He appeareth like a great bull with a man's face. His office is to make men very knowing in astronomy and all other liberal sciences. Also, he can give good familiars, and wise, knowing the virtues of herbs and stones which be precious. He governeth 30 legions of spirits. The 22nd spirit is Elpius. His seal is this, which thou shalt wear. He is an earl and a mighty prince, and appeareth in the form of an angel with a lion's head, and a goose's foot and hare's tail. He knoweth all things past, present, and to come. He maketh men witty and bold. He governeth 36 legions of spirits. The 23rd spirit is Aim, and his seal is this, which wear thou as aforesaid. He is a great strong duke. He appeareth in the form of a very handsome man in body, but with 3 heads. The first, like a serpent, the second like a man having 2 stars on his forehead, the third like a calf. He rideth on a viper, carrying a firebrand in his hand, wherewith he setteth cities, castles, and great places on fire. He maketh thee witty in all manner of ways, and giveth true answers unto private matters. He governeth 26 legions of inferior spirits. The 24th spirit is Naberius. His seal is this, which is to be worn. He is a most valiant marquis, and showeth in the form of a black crane fluttering about the circle, and when he speaketh it is with a hoarse voice. He maketh men cunning in all arts and sciences, but especially in the art of rhetoric. He restoreth lost dignities and honours. He governeth 19 legions of spirits. The 25th spirit is Glasia Labolus. His seal is this. He is a mighty president and earl, and showeth himself in the form of a dog with wings like a griffon. He teacheth all arts and sciences in an instant, and is an author of bloodshed and manslaughter. He teacheth all things past and to come. If desired, he causeth the love both of friends and of foes. He he can make a man to go invisible, and he hath under his command 36 legions of spirits. The 26th spirit is Bune, or Bim. His seal is this, unto the which he oweth obedience. He is a strong, great and mighty duke. He appeareth in the form of a dragon with 3 heads, one like a dog, one like a griffon, and one like a man. He speaketh with a high and comely voice. He changeth the place of the dead, and causeth the spirits which be under him to gather together upon your sepulchres. He giveth riches unto a man, and maketh him wise and eloquent. He giveth true answers unto demands, and he governeth 30 legions of spirits. The 27th spirit is Ronov. His seal is this. He appeareth in the form of a monster. He teacheth the art of rhetoric very well, and giveth good servants knowledge of tongues, and favours with friends or foes. He is a marquis and great earl, and there be under his command 19 legions of spirits. The 28th spirit in order, as Solomon bound them, is named Berith. His seal is this. He is a mighty, great and terrible duke. He hath 2 other names given unto him by men of later times, viz. Beel, or Beel, and Bofri, or Bolfri. He appeareth in the form of a soldier with red clothing, riding upon a red horse, and having a crown of gold upon his head. He giveth true answers, past, present, and to come. Thou must make use of a ring in calling him forth, as is before spoken of regarding Beleth. He can turn all metals into gold. He can give dignities, and can confirm them unto man. He speaketh with a very clear and subtle voice. He governeth 26 legions of spirits. The 29th spirit is Astaroth. His seal is this, which wear thou as a lamb before thee, or else he will not appear nor yet obey thee. He is a mighty, strong duke, and appeareth in the form of an hurtful angel, riding on an infernal beast like a dragon, and carrying in his right hand a viper. Thou must in no wise let him approach too near unto thee, lest he do thee damage by his noisome breath. Wherefore the magician must hold the magical ring near his face, and that will defend him. He giveth true answers of things past, present, and to come, and can discover all secrets. He will declare wittingly how the spirits fell, if desired, and the reason of his own fall. He can make men wonderfully knowing in all liberal sciences. He ruleth 40 legions of spirits. The 30th spirit is Forneus. His seal is this, which wear thou. He is a mighty and great marquis, and appeareth in the form of a great sea monster. He teacheth and maketh men wonderfully knowing in the art of rhetoric. He causeth men to have a good name, and to have the knowledge and understanding of tongues. He maketh one to be beloved of his foes as well as of his friends. He governeth 29 legions of spirits, partly of the order of thrones, and partly of that of angels. The 31st spirit is Phoras, and his seal is this, which wear thou. He is a mighty president, and appeareth in the form of a strong man in human shape. He can give the understanding to men how they may know the virtues of all herbs and precious stones. He teacheth the arts of logic and ethics in all their parts. If desired, he maketh men invisible, and to live long, and to be eloquent. He can discover treasures and recover things lost. He ruleth over 29 legions of spirits. The 32nd spirit is Asmodai, or Asmodai. His seal is this which thou must wear as a layman upon thy breast. He is a great king, strong and powerful. He appeareth with 3 heads, whereof the first is like a bull, the second like a man, and the third like a ram. He hath also the tail of a serpent, and from his mouth issue flames of fire. His feet are webbed like those of a goose. He sitteth upon an infernal dragon, and beareth in his hand a lance with a banner. He is first and choicest under the power of a Mammon. He goeth before all other. When the exorcist hath a mind to call him, let it be abroad, and let him stand on his feet all the time of action, with his cap or headdress off. For if it be on, a Mammon will deceive him and call all his actions to be bewrayed. But as soon as the exorcist seeth Asmodai in the shape aforesaid, he shall call him by his name, saying, Art thou Asmodai? And he will not deny it, and by he will bow down unto the ground. He giveth the ring of virtues, he teacheth the arts of arithmetic, astronomy, geometry, and all handicrafts absolutely. He giveth true and full answers unto thy demands. The 33rd spirit is Gop. His seal is this, to be made and to be worn as aforesaid. He is a great president and a mighty prince. He appeareth when the sun is in some of the southern signs, in a human shape, going before 4 great and mighty kings, as if lie were a guide to conduct them along on their way. His office is to make men insensible or ignorant, as also in philosophy to make them knowing, and in all the liberal sciences. He can cause love or hatred. Also he can teach thee to consecrate those things that belong to the dominion of Amaymon his king. He can deliver familiars out of the custody of other magicians, and answereth truly and perfectly of things past, present, and to come. He can carry and recarry men very speedily from one kingdom to another, at the will and pleasure of the exorcist. He ruleth over 66 legions of spirits, and he was of the order of potentates. The 34th spirit is Furfa, and his seal is this. He is a great and mighty earl, appearing in the form of an hart with a fiery tail. He never speaketh truth unless he be compelled, or brought up within a triangle. Being therein, he will take upon himself the form of an angel. Being bidden, he speaketh with a hoarse voice. Also he will wittingly urge love between man and woman. He can raise lightnings and thunders, blasts, and great tempestuous storms. And he giveth true answers both of things secret and divine, if commanded. He ruleth over 26 legions of spirits. The 35th spirit is Marcosius, and his seal is this, to be made and worn as a lamen. He is a great and mighty marquis, appearing at first in the form of a wolf, having griffin's wings and a serpent's tail, and vomiting fire out of his mouth. But after a time, at the command of the exorcist, he putteth on the shape of a man, and he is a strong fighter. He was of the order of dominations. He governeth 30 legions of spirits. He told his chief, who was Solomon, that after 1200 years, he had hopes to return unto the 7th throne. The 36th spirit is Stolos, or Stolos, and his seal is this. He is a great and powerful prince, appearing in the shape of a mighty raven at first before the exorcist, but after he taketh the image of a man. He teacheth the art of astronomy, and the virtues of herbs and precious stones. He governeth 26 legions of spirits. The 37th spirit is Phoenix, or Phoenix, and his seal is this, which wear thou. He is a great marquis, and appeareth like the bird phoenix, having the voice of a child. He singeth many sweet notes before the exorcist, which he must not regard. But by and by he must bid him put on human shape. Then he will speak marvelously of all wonderful sciences if required. He is a poet, good and excellent, and he will be willing to perform thy requests. He hath hopes also to return to the 7th throne after 1200 years more, as he said unto Solomon. He governeth 20 legions of spirits. The 38th spirit is Halphas, or Malthaus, or Malthas, and his seal is this. He is a great earl, and appeareth in the form of a stock-dove. He speaketh with a hoarse voice. His office is to build up towers, and to furnish them with ammunition and weapons, and to send men of war to places appointed. He ruleth over 26 legions of spirits. The 39th spirit is Malphus, and his seal is this. He appeareth at first like a crow, but after he will put on human shape at the request of the exorcist, and speak with a hoarse voice. He is a mighty president and powerful. He can build houses and high towers, and can bring to thy knowledge enemies' desires and thoughts, and that which they have done. He giveth good familiars. If thou makest a sacrifice unto him, he will receive it kindly and willingly, but he will deceive him that doth it. He governeth 40 legions of spirits. The 40th spirit is Raum, and his seal is this, which wear thou as aforesaid. He is a great earl, and appeareth at first in the form of a crow, but after the command of the exorcist he putteth on human shape. His office is to steal treasures out kings' houses, and to carry it whither he is commanded, and to destroy cities and dignities of men, and to tell all things, past and what is and what will be, and to cause love between friends and foes. He was of the order of thrones. He governeth 30 legions of spirits. The 41st spirit is Focalor, or Forcalor, or Furcalor, and his seal is this. He is a mighty duke and strong. He appeareth in the form of a man with griffin's wings. His office is to slay men, and to drown them in the waters, and to overthrow ships of war. For he hath power over both winds and seas. But he will not hurt any man or thing if he be commanded to the contrary by the exorcist. He also hath hopes to return to the seventh throne after 1,000 years. He governeth 30 legions of spirits. The 42nd spirit is Vipar, or Vifar, and his seal is this: he is a duke, great and strong, and appeareth like a mermaid. His office is to govern the waters, and to guide ships laden with arms, armor, and ammunition, etc. thereon. And at the request of the exorcist, he can cause the seas to be right stormy, and to appear full of ships. Also, he maketh men to die in 3 days by putrefying wounds or sores, and causing worms to breed in them. He governeth 29 legions of spirits. The 43rd spirit, as King Solomon commanded them into the vessel of brass, is called Sabnok or Savnok, and his seal is this: he is a marquis, mighty, great and strong, appearing in the form of an armed soldier with a lion's head, riding on a pale-colored horse. His office is to build high towers, castles, and cities, and to furnish them with armor, etc. Also he can afflict men for many days with wounds and with sores rotten and full of worms. He giveth good familiars at the request of the exorcist. He commandeth 50 legions of spirits. The 44th spirit is Shax, or Shaz, or Shas, and his seal is this: he is a great marquis, and appeareth in the form of a stock-dove, speaking with a voice hoarse, but yet subtle. His office is to take away the sight, hearing, or understanding of any man or woman at the command of the exorcist, and to steal money out of the houses of kings, and to carry it again in 1200 years. If commanded, he will fetch horses at the request of the exorcist, or any other thing. But he must first be commanded into a triangle, or else he will deceive him and tell him many lies. He can discover all things that are hidden, and not kept by wicked spirits. He giveth good familiars sometimes. He governeth 30 legions of spirits. The 45th spirit is Vine, or Vinea, and his seal is this, which wear thou as aforesaid. He is a great king and an earl, and appeareth in the form of a lion, riding upon a black horse, and bearing a viper in his hand. His office is to discover things hidden, witches, wizards, and things present, past, and to come. He, at the command of the exorcist, will build towers, overthrow great stone walls, and make the waters rough with storms. He governeth 36 legions of spirits. The 46th spirit is called Bifrons, or Bifraus, or Bifrovs. His seal is this, which he will own and submit unto. He is an earl, and appeareth in the form of a monster. But after a while, at the command of the exorcist, he putteth on the shape of a man. His office is to make one knowing in astrology, geometry, and other arts and sciences. He teacheth the virtues of precious stones and woods. He changeth dead bodies, and putteth them in another place. Also, he lighteth seeming candles upon the graves of the dead. He hath under his command 6 legions of spirits. The 47th spirit Uval, or Vuel, or Voval, and his seal is this, to be made and worn before thee. He is a duke, great, mighty, and strong, and appeareth in the form of a mighty dromedary at the first. But after a while, at the command of the exorcist, he putteth on human shape, and speaketh the Egyptian tongue, but not perfectly. His office is to procure the love of woman, and to tell things past, present, and to come. He also procureth friendship between friends and foes. He was of the order of potestates or powers. He governeth 37 legions of spirits. The 48th spirit is Hagenti, and his seal is this. He is a president, appearing in the form of a mighty bull with griffin's wings. This is at first, but after, at the command of the exorcist, he putteth on human shape. His office is to make men wise, and to instruct them in divers things, also to transmute all metals into gold, and to change wine into water and water into wine. He governeth 33 legions of spirits. The 49th spirit is Crocel, or Crocle. His seal is this, the which wear thou as aforesaid. He appeareth in the form of an angel. He is a duke great and strong, speaking something mystically of hidden things. He teacheth the art of geometry and the liberal sciences. He, at the command of the exorcist, will produce great noises like the rushings of many waters, although there be none. He warmeth waters and discovereth baths. He was of the order of potestates, or powers before his fall, as he declared unto the king Solomon. He governeth 48 legions of spirits. The The 50th spirit is Phurkes. His seal, or mark, is thus made. He is a knight, and appeareth in the form of a cruel old man with a long beard and a hoary head, riding upon a pale-coloured horse, with a sharp weapon in his hand. His office is to teach the arts of philosophy, astrology, rhetoric, logic, chiromancy, and pyromancy in all their parts, and perfectly. He hath under his power 20 legions of spirits. The 51st spirit is Balam or Balam. His seal is this. He is a terrible, great, and powerful king. He appeareth with 3 heads. The first is like that of a bull, the second is like that of a man, the third is like that of a ram. He hath the tail of a serpent, and flaming eyes. He rideth upon a furious bear, and carrieth a boschhock upon his fist. He speaketh with a hoarse voice, giving true answers of things past, present, and to come. He maketh men to go invisible, and also to be witty. He governeth 40 legions of spirits. The 52nd spirit is Aloses, or Alokas. His seal is this. He is a duke, great, mighty, and strong, appearing in the form of a soldier riding upon a great horse. His face is like that of a lion, very red, and having flaming eyes. His speech is hoarse and very big. His office is to teach the art of astronomy, and all the liberal sciences. He bringeth unto thee good familiars. Also, he ruleth over 36 legions of spirits. The 53rd spirit is Cameo, or Caim. His seal is this which wear thou. He is a great president, and appeareth in the form of the bird called a thrush at first, but afterwards he putteth on the shape of a man, carrying in his hand a sharp sword. He seemeth to answer in burning ashes, or in coals of fire. He is a good disputer. His office is to give unto men the understanding of all birds, lowing of bullocks, barking of dogs and other creatures, and also of the voice of the waters. He giveth true answers of things to come. He was of the order of angels, but now ruleth over 30 legions of spirits infernal. The 54th spirit is called Murmur, or Murmus, or Murmux, and his seal is this. He is a great duke and an earl, and appeareth in the form of a warrior riding upon a griffin with a ducal crown upon his head. There do go before him those his ministers, with great trumpets sounding. His office is to teach philosophy perfectly, and to constrain souls deceased to come before the exorcist, to answer those questions which he may wish to put to them if desired. The 55th spirit is Orobas. His seal is this. He is a great and mighty prince, appearing at first like a horse, but after the command of the exorcist, he putteth on the image of a man. His office is to discover all things past, present, and to come, also to give dignities and prelacies and the favor of friends and of foes. He giveth true answers of divinity and of the creation of the world. He is very faithful unto the exorcist, and will not suffer him to be tempted of any spirit. He governeth 20 legions of spirits. The 56th spirit is Gremory, or Gamori, and his seal is this. He is a duke strong and powerful, and appeareth in the form of a beautiful woman, with a duchess's crown tied about her waist, and riding on a great camel. His office is to tell of all things past, present, and to come, and of treasures hid, and what they lie in, and to procure the love of women, both young and old. He governeth 26 legions of spirits. The 57th spirit is Oso, Os or Voso, and this is his seal. He is a great president, and appeareth like a leopard at the first, but after a little time he putteth on the shape of a man. His office is to make one cunning in the liberal sciences, and to give true answers of divine and secret things. Also to change a man into any shape that the exorcist pleaseth, so that he that is so changed will not think any other thing than that he is in verity that creature or thing he is changed into. He governeth 30 legions of spirits. The 58th spirit is Ami, or Avnas, and his seal is this. He is a great president, and appeareth at first in the form of a flaming fire, but after a while he putteth on the shape of a man. His office is to make one wonderful knowing in astrology and all the liberal sciences. He giveth good familiars, and can bear a treasure that is kept by spirits. He governeth 36 legions of spirits. The 59th spirit is Oriax, or Orias, and his seal is this. He is a great marquis, and appeareth in the form of a lion, riding upon a horse mighty and strong, with a serpent's tail, and he holdeth in his right hand 2 great serpents hissing. His office is to teach the virtues of the stars, and to know the mansions of the planets, and how to understand their virtues. He also transformeth men, and he giveth dignities, prelacies, and confirmation thereof. Also favour with friends and with foes. He doth govern 30 legions of spirits. The 60th spirit is Vapula, or Nafula, and his seal or character is thus made, and thou shalt wear it as aforesaid. He is a duke, great, mighty, and strong, appearing in the form of a lion with Griffon's wings. His office is to make men knowing in all handcrafts and professions, also in philosophy and other sciences. He governeth 36 legions of spirits. The 61st spirit is Zagan, and his seal is this. He is a great king and president, appearing at first in the form of a bull with griffin's wings, but after a while he putteth on human shape. He maketh men witty. He can turn wine into water, and blood into wine, also water into wine. He can turn all metals into coin of the dominion that metal is of. He can even make fools wise. He governeth 33 legions of spirits. The 62nd spirit is Volak, or Valak, or Valu, and his seal is thus. He is a president mighty and great, and appeareth like a child with angel's wings, riding on a two-headed dragon. His office is to give true answers of hidden treasures, and to tell where serpents may be seen, the which he will bring unto the exerciser without any force or strength being by him employed. He governeth 38 legions of spirits. The 63rd spirit is Andras, and this is his seal. He is a great marquis, appearing in the form of an angel, with a head like a black night raven, riding upon a strong black wolf, and having a sharp and bright sword flourished aloft in his hand. His office is to sow discords. If the exorcist have not a care, he will slay both him and his fellows. He governeth 30 legions of spirits. The 64th spirit is Haures, or Hauras, or Havres, or Flauros, and his seal is this, to be worn as a lamen. He is a great duke, and appeareth at first like a leopard, mighty, terrible, and strong, but after a while, at the command of the exorcist, he putteth on human shape with eyes flaming and fiery, and a most terrible countenance. He giveth true answers of all things, present, past, and to come. But if he be not commanded into a triangle, he will lie in all these things, and deceive and beguile the exorcist in these things, or in such and such business. He will, lastly, talk of the creation of the world, and of divinity, and of how he and other spirits fell. He destroyeth and burneth up those who be the enemies of the exorcist, should he so desire it. Also, he will not suffer him to be tempted by any other spirit or otherwise. He governeth 36 legions of spirits. The 65th spirit is Andrialphus, and his seal is this. He is a mighty marquis, appearing at first in the form of a peacock, with great noises. But after a time he putteth on human shape. He can teach geometry perfectly. He maketh men very subtle therein, and in all things pertaining unto mensuration or astronomy. He can transform a man into the likeness of a bird. He governeth 30 legions of infernal spirits. The 66th spirit is Chimeges, or Chimees, or Chimaris, and his seal is this. He is a marquis, mighty, great, strong, and powerful, appearing like a valiant warrior riding upon a goodly black horse. He ruleth over all spirits in the parts of Africa. His office is to teach perfectly grammar, logic, rhetoric, and to discover things lost or hidden and treasures. He governeth 20 legions of infernals. The 67th spirit is Amdusias, or Amducius, and his seal is this. He is a duke great and strong, appearing at first like a unicorn, but at the request of the exorcist, he standeth before him in human shape, causing trumpets, and all manner of musical instruments to be heard, but not soon or immediately. Also he can cause trees to bend and incline according to the exorcist's will. He giveth excellent familiars. He governeth 29 legions of spirits. The 68th spirit is Belial, and his seal is this, which is to be worn as aforesaid. He is a mighty and a powerful king, and was created next after Lucifer. He appeareth in the form of 2 beautiful angels sitting in a chariot of fire. He speaketh with a comely voice, and declareth that he fell first from among the worthier sort that were before Michael and other heavenly angels. His office is to distribute presentations and senatorships, etc., and to cause favour of friends and of foes. He giveth excellent familiars, and governeth 50 legions of spirits. Note well that this King Belial must have offerings, sacrifices, and gifts presented unto him by the exorcist, or else he will not give true answers unto his demands. But then he tarrieth not 1 hour in the truth, unless he be constrained by divine power. The 69th spirit is Decarabia, and this is his seal, which is to be worn. He appeareth in the form of a star, in a pentacle at first, but after, at the command of the exorcist, he putteth on the image of a man. His office is to discover the virtues of birds and precious stones, and to make the similitude of all kinds of birds to fly before the exorcist, singing and drinking as natural birds do. He governeth 30 legions of spirits, being himself a great marquis. The 70th spirit is Seer, or Seer, and this his seal is to be worn. He is a mighty prince, and powerful, under a Mammon, king of the east. He appeareth in the form of a beautiful man, riding upon a winged horse. His office is to go and come, and to bring abundance of things to pass on a sudden, and to carry or recarry anything whither thou wouldest have it to go, or whence thou wouldest have it from. He can pass over the whole earth in the twinkling of an eye. He giveth a true relation of all sorts of theft, and of treasure hid, and of many other things. He is of an indifferent good nature, and is willing to do anything which the exorcist desireth. He governeth 26 legions of spirits. The 71st spirit is Dantalion, and this is his seal, which wear thou. He is a duke great and mighty, appearing in the form of a man with many countenances, all men's and women's faces, and he hath a book in his right hand. His office is to teach all arts and sciences unto any, and to declare the secret counsel of anyone, for he knoweth the thoughts of all men and women, and can change them at his will. He can cause love, and show the similitude of any person, and show the same by a vision, let them be in what part of the world they will. He governeth 36 legions of spirits. The 72nd spirit in order is named Andromalius. His seal is this, the which wear thou as aforesaid. He is an earl, great and mighty, appearing in the form of a man holding a great serpent in his hand. His office is to bring back both a thief and the goods which be stolen, and to discover all wickedness and underhand dealing, and to punish all thieves and other wicked people, and also to discover treasures that be hid. He ruleth over 36 legions of spirits.